Hello, Patreon folks. Welcome to another fun bonus episode with me and Amanda. Amanda has a new Friday evening routine with her partner, and so we're going to talk about it. So basically, she likes to watch Disney movies or children's movies, and we are going to discuss all of her past watches and make a list of movies that she should watch next. So please, if you've got suggestions, let us know. Thank you so much for being part of the Patreon. It is an honor that you support the show, and I hope you enjoy this bonus episode. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Just did the kitty food. Everyone's eating their breakfast.
Nice. I was woken up this morning by Wilbur, who decided that the best way to get me out of bed would be to knock everything off my bedside table and then bite me on the arm. But he only has 2 teeth, so it's kind of like anticlimactic.
Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, there's like really nothing exciting about it except that he's just like, get up. And why does he want me to get up? Because he wants me to refill the humidifier that he's obsessed with, and the bottom of his food dish was visible. Like I had chores. Like he was getting me up because I had chores. It was not fair.
Well, like a cat, like Linus is the same way. He eats straight down.
Yes.
So there's like the ring of food. I'm like, there's still food in there. But Linus is on a temporary ban from the room because Brian hasn't set cat boundaries yet. And Linus knows when I'm like, Linus, no.
Right.
He know, like he'll stop what he's doing.
Right.
But he will sit on Brian's chest or put a paw on the face or the nose because he wants to be pet. And so Brian is like half asleep petting Linus, and can't really watch for the cues of like, oh, Linus is done now. So then Linus will wind up biting Brian.
Excuse me.
Linus has also, so Brian has this gigantic desk. It's huge. It's huge. I'll send you a photo, and it's part standing. And Brian bought some Banana Republic clothes. The pants or the shorts didn't fit, but because Brian bought them on sale, can't return them. So they were like they've been sitting on the edge of the desk, and that's now Linus's sleeping spot.
Oh, like wow, he got Banana Republic shorts? What a lucky
Banana
cat.
Republic shorts. I'm sending you a photo of both the kitties on Brian's desk while Brian played Baldur's Gate yesterday. We have a cat bed, and now Linus, all he cares about is
Banana Republic shorts.
Banana Republic linen shorts.
Clearly, Linus has very refined taste. So tell me about your Friday. I want to hear everything about this. Tell me about your new Friday night activity.
So we have started a new routine, Brian and I, where we will take an edible and watch a movie on Fridays. And normally it's been Disney movies. I feel like the only deviation was Spy. I made Brian watch Spy. Oh, and we watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Fair.
But for the most part, they're always Disney movies. So we've done Emperor's New Groove, we've done Moana, we've done WALL-E, we've done a Goofy movie, still holds up, still very good. I usually wind up crying my eyes out at some point in the movie. WALL-E was the first one we did because it's my favorite Disney movie. And 17 minutes in, he finds a fire extinguisher. And I immediately start crying, not because of what's happening, but because I'm remembering what happens later in the movie with WALL-E and his fire extinguisher, and I'm just sobbing. And the whole movie, like, it's just like a constant cry, and Brian gave up giving me tissues. He just gave me the whole box and would just feel like me like hiccup a little when he knew the tears started again. Same with Moana, definitely cried.
Oh man.
At the grandma scene, and then at the end where she returns like the heart of Te-Fiti. Cried during that. Like
I can only really watch half. I can really only watch half of WALL-E because the minute they get to the spaceship, the anti-fat bias is so painful. I'm like, I got to stop now. I can't watch. So I love the first half. The first half of WALL-E is great. The second half of WALL-E, I just pretend it doesn't exist. So how many milligrams are we talking here? Are you completely
it's pretty low.
Like flying through space? 5 to 10?
No, 5 to 10. There was one time, I think we were watching a Goofy movie my chocolate bar was nothing but crumbles. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to estimate what I think is a piece. And that was a mistake. I got way too high. And like, it was like one of those things where like I'm sitting, but it feels like I'm doing this.
Yep.
Like wobbling.
Yep.
Yeah. And Brian had to help me up the stairs to our bedroom.
So what is the movie this weekend?
We don't know yet. So Brian picked Emperor's New Groove last weekend, and I didn't like it.
Oh, how come?
I've seen it before, and it's got some good moments, but like, God, Kuzco's such an asshole.
Yeah.
And I think he's 18 in the movie. And sometimes asshole teens, you just know there's no helping them, and they're gonna be an asshole their entire life.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy the redemption arc of Kuzco. And come on, Yzma, voiced by Eartha Kitt, with those fashions, she was way cooler. So it was okay. We don't know what we're gonna watch. I'm fond of the musicals. When I'm high, I like to sing along. It's like a little sing along. So I'm gonna fight for Encanto, which I love. Brian hasn't seen it, and I think Brian might try to veto it because they don't want to watch, like, their first time be while they're high. They want to watch it, like, sober first. Or maybe Tangled. I really like Tangled, but Mulan is always a safe bet. It used to be my favorite Disney movie until WALL-E, so Mulan's also got a great soundtrack. So those are the 3 that I'm gonna give to Brian and be like, hey,
may I make a suggestion?
Sure.
The original Julie Andrews Mary Poppins.
Oh my God. That would be a trip. Yeah.
Because then you have a couple of elements that might work really, really well. First of all, Dick Van Dyke's accent is the worst thing that has ever happened on this planet, and it is fun to revisit. But allegedly the behind the scenes is that he was taught the Cockney accent by an Irish guy, which is why it sounds so weird. But it's real bad, real bad. But the other thing is that so you have the accent, but then you have these weird parts of the movie where there's animation and they're interacting with the animation. So that could be really fun. Also, Bedknobs and Broomsticks does the same thing.
Was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang a Disney movie? That also is a Dick Van Dyke movie.
I'm going to ask the internet. And
I remember that was weird.
That's actually the 4th question in the People Also Ask. Was the first non-Disney film to feature songs by the Sherman Brothers, which is why it seems like a Disney movie, but it is not a Disney movie. So it's not a Disney movie.
I watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang so many times growing up. I love the like doll on a music box song.
Yeah.
But the child catcher is nightmare inducing, especially when you watch it as a child.
Absolutely not. Oh yeah. But isn't it weird though? Like Adam and I were talking about this when we were traveling. When we were younger, and I'm a little older than you, we had the Don Bluth animated movies like An American Tale and
yes, I've seen Secret of
NIMH, and like they were fucking terrifying. Like
Watership Down was like a kid's movie.
Oh yeah, All Dogs Go to Heaven. What are you kidding me?
Oh my God, that movie.
Right? Like The Secret
I'll
of
put
NIMH.
that in rotation.
The Secret of and The Land Before Time. Don't even get me started on that.
Land Before Time.
Oh my God. Do you want to sob? How do you feel about really exercising your diaphragm while you expunge all sorrow from your body? Watch Land Before Time. And then you'll never look at Falling Leaves the same way.
I think every adult has a moment in their childhood where there's just that one piece of media that has scarred them forever. Mine was Neverending Story.
Oh my God.
When Atreyu is in the swamp and the horse and he's like,
and I have to say that ending is the biggest letdown. Like every time we get to the ending of them, I'm like, really? That was the end? Oh, fine.
I liked the book. My mom had this old, I think it was like a 1960s or 1970s version of A Neverending Story. And it was like red and it had the Ouroboros on the cover. It was beautiful. I don't know. She might still have it, but the book, I liked the book.
The Secret of NIMH was my first earliest memory of shipping two characters that don't end up together. Isn't that wild? Because
the pain started early.
Yeah, it did. It's been a long, long journey for my soul. But there's a really, okay, I can't believe I'm going to say these words. There's a really hot rat captain of the guard named Justin. Got to have a hot rat. And I think this might be why so many people want Nalini Singh to write the Rat Shifters, because we all watched The Secret of
rats.
Yes, give us the hot rat. Come on now. But then there's Justin and Mrs. Frisbee, and there's definitely chemistry there. But then the rats at the end, spoiler. Can you spoil a movie that's this old? Like, my rule is generally, if you see it on an airplane, then you can discuss it openly, like once it's hit a jet plane. So I feel like The Secret of NIMH, I can spoil it. But at the end, the rats move away and Mrs. Frisbee's home is safe and her kids are okay, but they're not together. And so did I read Mrs. Frisbee and Justin fic? Yes, I did. Did I like mentally create new endings? Absolutely. It's my earliest frustrated ship.
Speaking of hot rats.
Speaking of hot
rats. I know he's the villain, but like the sleazy, suave rat in The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh.
And he has, I thought he was something for sure.
Well, as we know from prior episodes, I'm not really a villain shipper. I don't really go for villains, but that guy for The Great Mouse Detective, way hot. I sound
There's
so
a tweet
sick
that
right
I always think of. It's like, if bad, why sexy? And that's what I think of anytime I have like an attraction to a villain in a piece of media. I'd be like, if bad, why sexy?
So why sexy? So I am very curious what movie you watched this weekend. I hope you will update me.
Yeah, I will. I'm excited. I mean, it'll be difficult. I wonder if I can tear Brian away from Baldur's Gate. We also watched Office Space this week. Brian texted me and was like, we're talking about Office Space at work. Can we watch it? And I was like, okay. But we weren't high. We just watched it.
I think that is one of Jennifer Aniston's best performances.
I don't like Jennifer Aniston.
No kidding.
I don't like her acting.
Wow. I had no idea.
I don't like her acting. Her just like, I'm just kind of like a quirky girl who like messes up, and I don't know. I don't like Friends either. I don't like her. I don't like her as an actress normally.
Wow. See, that's so interesting. Yeah. I think she has some of the most underrated comic timing. I think that her comic timing, especially in Friends and especially in Office Space, was just so good. But I also understand, maybe you guys, maybe someday you should just hang out with Jennifer Aniston, because my understanding is she throws great parties. Her friends who are other actors do not breathe a word. I think they just sit around, smoke weed, and have a great time. So I bet if you were friends with Jennifer Aniston, you'd have a ball.
If Jennifer Aniston's agent cares about whether or not I continue to dislike Jennifer Aniston, feel free to reach out.
Invite Amanda to the next house party. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just something about her. I feel like she plays the same type of woman.
Oh, fair. Absolutely fair. There's a very specific thread to all of her performances. Granted, I haven't seen them all. Well, thank you for doing a bonus episode with me. I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I want to know what movie you watch.